Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 MultiversX. I'm very happy to be here this morning for this new issue. And I am with my friend Arno. Hello, Arno, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. You hear me well?
Yes, perfectly. And you?
Yes. All good.
It's my first words of the day. So I don't know how is my voice, but I haven't spoken before.
That's good. It means you didn't have a crazy night. You're nice and
Mm,
fresh for your show.
yeah, we can say this. Yeah, we can say this. It's going to be very cool this morning. I'm very happy about the guests that we'll have and the topics that we'll speak about. But first of all, everybody, please repost the X space link, but also the YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe and to add a comment and a like and so on. It's very important for us for the referencement. We are also live on Twitch if you prefer this platform. So same if you're not, if you didn't subscribe yet, do it now. And on today's program, we will of course start by the crypto press release. We will speak about four topics with my friends here. In 30 minutes ish, we'll receive Robert Sasu, core developer at MultiversX, to speak about different topics with him, tech, of course, but not only. And Arno, just before, will speak about how to mint Ash on Atom with EGLD for a 0% fee. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just
correct.
show one way to mint USH, the fastest one, the cheapest one, the most efficient one. And we will do it live on the DevNet. So that's cool.
Okay, great. And at 11:30, we will receive the founder and CTO of Valoro, Alexandru Berce. I hope I don't mispronounce his name. And yeah, it's going to be very cool. Can't wait. First of all, I would like to thank the main sponsor of GM Web3 MultiversX for months now. It's Hatem, the MultiversX leading lending, borrowing, and liquid staking platform on MultiversX. And they are offering $25 in their token, the HTM token. You can find all the links on the description of the YouTube video, but also on the audio podcast, because the replay of the show will be available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, but also Deezer. And yeah, feel free to go there and try to get returns on your different cryptocurrencies on MultiversX. So let me put it in the comment of the show, of course. So normally everything's ready. So normally we'll be joined by one or two more speakers, but let's start by the crypto press review first. So I have two news, general news, Web3 news, we can say, and two news.
EGLD is pumping. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. And second news, EGLD is pumping. Yes, baby. I'm sorry. We deserve that one.
Absolutely. We've been through so hard time for 3 years now. So yeah, of course, feel free. Yeah, we'll receive a third person in the show for the whole show. Lucy, hello Lucy, what's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Long time no see. Long time no see, guys. How are you doing?
definitely. Yeah,
Where are
very
you,
good.
Lucide?
Right now in in Asia, so like right now in Hong Kong, but I'm actually moving back and forth between Thailand and Hong Kong. So yeah, it's quite
Busy
hot
man.
here. I'm not. Is it snowing in Paris right now?
No. No, right now it's sunny Paris. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We had one day with snow, but it wasn't just Paris. It was the whole of Europe. Was snow everywhere. But You know how it is. Snow never lasts in Paris. Okay, back on GRM's program, because otherwise he's going to start whipping us.
We have so I was saying we have two general news and two MultiversX news. So if you guys agree, we'll start by the general news. And I picked two of them. And first of all, what happened yesterday in Korea? I don't know if you followed it, but it was pretty huge. So just to add some context, South Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol briefly declared martial law on December 3, 2024. So it was yesterday, citing anti-state threats targeting the opposition party. Although the law was lifted after just 6 hours, it triggered widespread panic in financial markets, especially among cryptocurrency investors seeking to safeguard their asset. This led to a record-breaking 34.2 billion in cryptocurrency trading volume on local exchanges within 24 hours. We can mention Upbit, which is the largest exchange in South Korea, handled 27.25 billion on this volume alone, enlightening the intense market reaction during this brief political crisis. And it's not relevant to speak about it on GM Web3 MultiversX, as we know that Korea market is pretty interested in MultiversX. We saw a pretty big volumes with EGLD, the cryptocurrency of MultiversX, a few months ago. So it's interesting. Did you guys see this, and do you have anything to say about this?
So I had a conversation with Foudre, our great Foudre, about it, because actually a fun thing that happened is that EGLD didn't flash crash like most of the other cryptos. It held very well. And so, our Foudre, he wondered why. And he digged into this. And apparently what happened is that between several exchanges, market makers are actually trying to capture EGLD. So for the last, maybe you didn't know this, but for the last 8 to 10 months, we've seen a bit in Korea accumulate EGLD. We also saw Coinbase accumulate EGLD. We discovered why. And Binance also has a lot of EGLD. And so basically when the news occurred in South Korea, all cryptos crashed. And basically Binance market makers, I think Foudre told me the amount, but I think it was either 20 or 40K EGLD. The Binance market makers bought from Upbit the flash crash instantly. So that's why the EGLD price held very well. So there's a war over EGLD.
Yeah, it was just not holding, how to say, to maintain, because it grown a lot. It popped a lot. We have like 10% or 15% during the day yesterday for EGLD. I'm not sure it's completely and 100% related to what happened to Korea, of course, because there is like at the moment something around MultiversX. We can see it on the socials. We can see on the different ESDT tokens. It's not just about MultiversX, but also Atom, Kowat, and many other ESDTs that are profiting about this. I don't know, hype around MultiversX. We can mention
that's mechanical. When EGLD pumps, since all the tokens, we don't have native stablecoins, so all the tokens are paired with EGLD, and since we have very few tokens listed on central exchanges, they're all paired with EGLD. So when EGLD pumps, everything pumps. So yeah, that's good in that sense.
It's not related to really big news or stuff like that right now. Like the EGLD just come back to more is natural price, I would say. So that's gonna be interesting when we're gonna have real news, like you mentioned, Usher release, or let's say even the subsequence. I know many people are waiting for that. So for
You
now, it's
speak
just
with Robert. Mm.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But for the upbeat, yeah, it's a bit crazy. Like I think some people make money last night when they saw the crash. For sure, some arbitrage had done. So yeah, I'm just cautious about the X day, right? Because it's gonna be in Seoul. So hopefully it will not have impact on X day next year.
It's supposed to happen on April, so we have a few months before to check if it worth buying tickets and if the conference will happen there or not. But anyway, it's anyway important to mention when EGLD is overperforming the market and when it's not. At the beginning, it was a pretty underperforming the other cryptocurrencies, but these last days it's overperforming. So it's anyway interesting to mention this. Let's move to the second news of the day, and it's about Artifact. Artifact was a French startup around digital fashion, we can say. And in 2021, they were bought by Nike company for around $150 million. The amount is not official, but this is what we can find on the internet. And for months and years, they tried to follow their roadmap, but actually it was not that simple. The community was expecting more or different things, but actually there were FUD around the project this last month, and yesterday they announced the closure of its metaverse fashion subsidiary by January 2025. The decision comes after declining interest in NFTs and digital assets since 2022, prompting Nike to refocus on physical product innovation and traditional retail strategies. So they achieved, we can mention significant milestones, including collaborations like Clonex with Takashi Murakami, the creation of first digital sneakers transformed into physical products, and empowering countless 3D artists and creators. But unfortunately, they decided that positions this transition is. Artifact is saying it's not the end, but the next chapter is not really clear. So, of course, the community is not happy at all. Some of them bought NFTs for thousands of dollars, and now they are lost. So maybe the conclusion of this is nobody is too big to fail in Web3. We spoke about Lacoste a few months ago that decided to give up their Web3 journey. Now it's Nike to do it. Do you think big brands will continue to go on Web3 after these um, fails? We can say, or do you think it's the end of NFTs and big fashion brands on on Web3?
Come on, you know the answer to your question. I like it when you answer, like the question, like you're setting everything on fire and say, so are we going to burn or not? No, but jokes aside, there's two interesting topics here. The business one that there's the core of your question. I mean, I definitely believe this is not the end of businesses going towards Web3. First of all, because the internet is going to keep going towards Web3. It's the most efficient way to evolve. So maybe the timeline is longer than what we expected. But once you're on the train, you usually forget that people walk at 5 kilometers while you're going at 300 kilometers around. So it's going to take maybe more time. But the question that I think is very interesting is around NFTs. NFTs are really going through an existential crisis, and I'm actually happy about it because NFT is a technology And the way it was used in the past cycle was very, very speculative. Whereas it has the power to do such great things, to bring people together, to do so many things. NFT is an amazing piece of the blockchain technology. And so NFTs are going to come back again in different forms. I can't say which ones, but most likely communities are going to be brought back together through NFTs, but it's going to be in a different way, through different type of people behind those projects. And I'm happy about this because they will come back stronger than ever. So Artifact, they did crazy cool stuff. I mean, they, as you said, you named what they did. It was super cool. So, it was the beginning of an experiment. And the experiment, I wouldn't say it failed. I'd say it has proven certain points. But of course, we would all love to have, only successful stories. But it's not how this works. We are all experimenting with blockchain technology, and Artifact did some crazy cool stuff. So I decide to remember that they were among the first to create sneakers connected to blockchain, crazy cool art connected to blockchains, and let's see what's the next chapter for them.
Yeah, I completely agree with Arno. Actually, I think Jeremy, it's a bit harsh to say it's the end, and I think the problem is, if you think about the use case, we are not really solving pain point at the moment. Just okay, that's cool to have sneakers connected to the blockchain, but what real problem the user have that this solving? I think we're gonna have real adoption in NFT when we're gonna face a real crisis that NFT will really solve it. And in this case, people will realize, oh, actually, that's NFT is so cool, we should use it. So it's just, I think we were a bit too early, and they were a bit too early for the market. The market is not mature enough, and the problems didn't arrive yet, but for sure it will.
You know what, Jeremy, if we could stick on this topic, because it's really an interesting one.
You're taking time for MultiversX news. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
It's up to you.
Okay, I will do it very briefly. NFTs, we have existing problems that are clear and existing problems that are unclear. I think that NFTs have proven what they're great for, and it's bringing people together. We live in a society that is more and more digitalized. We live more and more through the internet and NFTs, and we have more and more people feeling alone around the world. Even so, we're so much more connected than 20 years ago. NFTs have this power to bring people together because it gives a face to technology, to a technology that can bring people together. And maybe this was the only purpose of it. So, that's a real problem, but it's a hard one to solve. So let's see how, NFTs come back, and if it will be to solve that problem, or as you said, you lose it to find something else.
Thank you very much, guys, for this, for your opinion on this. Let's move to the next news, and it will be about MultiversX. So let's maybe start by the Coinbase thing. So just give me a second. Yeah, so MultiversX, EGLD, has been included in Coinbase's newly launched Coin 50 index. It's a benchmark tracking the top 50 digital assets available on the platform. The index, weighted by market capitalization and excluding stablecoins and privacy-focused cryptocurrencies, is a tool designed to provide transparent and reliable insights into market performance by capturing the trends and value shifts of the most prominent digital assets. The Coin 50 index offers investors a comprehensive view of the broader cryptocurrency market and its evolution. This is the way Coinbase introduces the Coin 50 index. And they added EGLD in the, I saw it on the layer 1 part, which is inside the infrastructure layer part. And you, Arno, wanted to speak about it, so go ahead. Why is it that important, according to you?
So 2 things. First of all, the Coinbase 50 index is very important because it is transposing traditional finance indexes into crypto investment. So like S&P 500 is an index based on technological companies. So you have indexes on luxury companies, etc., etc., etc. So indexes are a great way for investors to be exposed to a specific industry without having to go deep inside, okay, which one should I invest, etc., etc. No, you rely on experts from this industry, financial experts who know from this industry, and they create a package of investment. You can come in there. So how this index functions, you have all those assets, the 50 assets, and of course, not if you put $100, it's not going to be $200 going towards each asset. Bitcoin has, if I recall, 45%, around 45% of all the money that is going inside this index goes toward Bitcoin. Then you have 20% towards Ethereum. But what's interesting is that Coinbase is optimizing this index so that it performs over time. So at the beginning of the bull market, they will have a larger part for Bitcoin, and we already see it's been at the beginning, I think it was 47.5% for Bitcoin. Maybe now it's 40%. Ethereum was also 25%. Now it's 20%. So more money is flowing to others. So that's the first thing. The second thing, this is an index destined for institutional investors, mainly. So it means that if you are in this index, it says to the world, because this is the first index of the sort, it says to the world, those are the rock solid, or at least the most interesting assets in the space. This is a very strong, so that's why it's very strong for EGLD to be in there. Being in there doesn't mean you will be in there for life. Every quarter, this index is reshuffled. So assets can be taken out, more can be taken in. There's 50, it's the top 50 for Coinbase. So the fact that they've been accumulating EGLD for the last 8 months, and now that they're listing EGLD inside the index, showed that they had this in mind for a long time, in the crypto industry. A last thing I'm going to say, again, this was digging with Foudre yesterday. The index is not connected to the tokens directly. It's a perp. So when you're pouring money inside the index, you are not pouring money inside the tokens. So the index could have billions of inflows. It wouldn't affect directly the tokens. But what will happen is that the index is going to rise. And so there's going to be an arbitration opportunity, because traders are going to see, people are bullish on the index, so they're bullish on the assets, the underlying assets inside, and there is a discrepancy between. So let's say the index is trading 10% higher, then they're going to short the index and they're going to long on the assets until the prices, come back. And so this is also how you can impact the markets through the index. So to sum it up, it's great for EGLD because it is recognition as a hard and trusted asset by Coinbase, which is the #1 market maker in the US and one of the biggest in the world. Secondly, it's great because institutional investors are going to look towards this index to see what they want to invest in. So if you have an institutional investor wanting to invest in layer ones, they're going to look at this. And they're going to look, okay, what are the layer ones in the Coin 50 index? Boom, EGLD is one of them. So this is great. And I would say, thirdly, it is bullish as a whole for us because it shows that, in the past 8 months, 10 months, there's been stuff happening underground that we didn't see. And this is one of them that is finally, coming to fruition.
Is it the reason? Is it like behind the scene what happened with Benny going to the US? Maybe there is a link or relationship? What do you think, guys?
This is pure speculation, but it could be. It could be. Benny hasn't been going to the US. That I can tell you for sure. Just for this.
Yeah, maybe it's a pre-requirement, like for VCs, they want to see that, this is a serious asset. And
I don't know. I don't know, because you also have in the coin index, you have meme coins, you have Decentraland. So, what is good is that it is among the layer ones that are in this Coin 50 index.
Yep, and not a lot of layer one, by the way. I think there is only
12.
14, 12. So
12.
that means they are assuming EGLD is part of the 12 better layer one asset. So yeah, very good news.
An index, it is an index destined to make money. So don't forget this. It is 100%. It means that they believe EGLD is a runner for this upcoming bull market, at least for the next quarter.
Okay, guys. I think we are short of time for the last news, but we'll speak about it with Robert, if you agree, about X Money. So maybe, Arno, you want to share your screen to show us how to mint Ash. What's the one way to mint Ash? We have 2-3 minutes before we receive Robert. You can share your screen. Yes, I will allow it. It's live.
I was muted. Sorry. So you're with me. Okay, good.
Yes.
So here we are on the DevNet.
Everybody can access this, correct?
Yes, everybody can access this. If you go on Hatom, you will have the same here. It's basically the same platform. You can click on DevNet up here at the right, and you will be moved to the DevNet. Then you will arrive. It will be light mode, so you click on dark mode because it's awesome, and then you do your thing. So here we are, as you can see on the left, we are in the USH tab. And what I want to show you this morning is how to mint USH with EGLD for 0% minting fee. So when you arrive actually on the staking hub, you will see here the isolated pool. So you can mint USH for 0% either through EGLD or through TAO. So what I'm going to show you is through EGLD. So you arrive here and you can, Jerem, could you mute yourself?
Sure. Sorry.
Thank you. So you arrive here and you will be able to supply EGLD as collateral. You will need to supply before minting USH. So as you can see, you will go in there. You can either supply EGLD or staked EGLD directly. So I already supplied 11.49 EGLD so that we don't have this transaction to push. So as you can see on the DevNet, EGLD has a collateral factor of 70%, meaning I can't mint more than 70% of this $642 worth of EGLD. So what I can do now is I go on the right and I mint. So let's say that I'm going to mint $250 worth of EGLD. So while doing this, you can watch underneath here the minting limit used. So here we're at 50%. Maybe I think it's a bit too much. So I go 200 USD. Let's mint. Approve the transaction. Transaction will go through, and then you will receive your USH, and you're done. With your 200 USH, you can either swap your USH for USDC if you need money, exit your USDC, and there you are. You didn't sell your EGLD. So right now, I can see here, I have 200 USH, and my borrow limit used says I'm at 44% worth of my collateral. So it means that if EGLD goes down, my collateral value as a whole will go down. So my borrow limit used here will go up. But if EGLD goes up, my borrow limit used will go down because I will have more EGLD value. So I could mint more USH. So here you are. You used your EGLD to mint USH for 0. And then you can use your USH the way you want. Swap it for, I don't know, let's say that you're bullish on EGLD. You could swap it for EGLD and then resupply it. That would be a very, like a kind of a risky play. But if you're bullish on EGLD, that's something you could do. Or you could buy other ESDTs, go buy Bobber, go buy Quack, go buy HTM, HSwap, or Bees. I don't know. But here's how you can access stablecoin liquidity without selling your EGLD for a 0% minting fee. If you want to repay your loan, because at some point you will have to get back the money, you will just come in here, click repay, bring back the USH. So if you see here, I'm repaying my 200. So my minting limit goes back to 0. I repay. And then you will be able to get your collateral back. I think that's clear enough.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just wanted to add for everyone. People needs to bear in mind to pay attention to the EGLD price, because as you mentioned, if it's go down, some liquidation could occur. So it's not just we just FYI for the people. Make sure you have enough collateral value to avoid any liquidation. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to add that as a notice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Arno. Thanks a lot.
Hello, Robert.
Robert the goat. Hello.
Oh, wait, I muted his mic because they were nice during the previous column. Hello, Robert. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Very, very, very good. And you?
All good. Down in the trenches, trying to write some code between meetings, write some specifications for the new things. So, going.
It's
great.
A pleasure to have you back on GM Web3. And we have many topics that we would like to speak with you. Of course, we will speak about MultiversX, about all the whens and so on. But we'll also, if you agree, speak about different topics that you speak about on your Twitter account. And I want to deep dive into what you think about some topics. And first, Robert, I would like to speak about the regulation because you tweet about it a lot, about the difference between the United States upcoming regulation and what's happening in Europe. So, if you agree, I would like maybe to have your take about what's happening in Europe, because we know that MultiversX is at the moment mostly European community and builders, and the foundation is in Europe. So, yeah, I would like to start about it with you, Robert, and I know you have an interesting point of view about what's happening with MICA and the other regulations in Europe.
I think that we
the
had
wheel is turning, Robert.
Yeah.
Last time we talked
had
about
a lot of
regulation, it was
discussions
you.
around this, especially in Munich at the RWA day, and it was, in some sense, it was quite sad that everybody was talking about how bad the regulations are and how hard it is to do anything, and how much money you have to pay to be in compliant with the regulations, and that you have to hire a lot of lawyers and a lot of things in order only to start your business. And this is like a common take on almost everything which comes with payment or anything which comes with Web3. Not only RWAs. Now with the MiCA regulations as well, you might have to pay a lawyer and to do all the processes for your token or your for thing on the Web3 to be accepted, which is not a small amount of money. I think it will be starting somewhere around $50,000. And imagine a startup which receives, let's say, $100,000 in a pre-seed from its friends or stuff like that, and then you are giving out 50K just like this in order to be compliant with some kind of papers. And then the European Union, I think that they are just doing in the wrong direction. This week or last week, it got out the paper about the electronic digital euro coin, and it was like 500 euro limit on accounts and all sorts of things, and these are put in place somehow, it seems like, to protect the current banks and the current payment systems and the current rules, and those who are on those rules and they have paid in various
You
years
mentioned
all this stuff, they can go. But all the newcomers, all the new startups, it's like it's close to impossible for them, or it just takes a lot of money and effort to do this. If we
you can
look
see
at
it.
a little bit in, let's say, in the difference between what kind of payment systems do we have in Europe, or what kind of payment systems the Philippines have, or Taiwan has, or stuff like that, we are like ages, they are ages ahead, like 20, 30 years ahead. Everybody is paying with phones in all the small markets. Everything just works seamless. And here in Europe, you can't do that, because if you want to build an app like that, you have to start to pay regulations and lawyers.
You mentioned the report of the European Union about digital coins, so the upcoming CBDC, we can say. And on the report, they mentioned some private service providers and so on. And on the community, some people asked if X Money was part of this service providers that were maybe in discussion with the regulators and the European Union contributors. Do you have any information about this?
So since we have both the TwistPay company, like 3 years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Since then, we are in continuous discussions, or the team from there and the lawyers are in continuous discussions with the National Bank of Romania, and through the National Bank of Romania, there is a concrete discussions with the European Union and the regulations there, where the team acts as an expert in blockchain technologies as well, in order for them to suggest changes or to suggest stuff. But most of these things do not come from the, let's say, from the this kind of regulation. The limits do not come from the all the other blockchain teams or our team, which are pushing sometimes, but they are coming from the bureaucrats in some sense, who are receiving other kind of input from other banks.
And maybe you can say a word about the new CEO of X-Money. We wanted to speak during the crypto press release, but actually it's way better to discuss it with you. Have you met him, and why MultiversX chose him to run X-Money for the next challenge that will come for X-Money, which is EME, and it's very important to be EME to launch a stablecoin, for example.
The thing is that we have figured it out. Not we, the founders have figured it out that they cannot, let's say, run all the businesses around the MultiversX umbrella. So you need to grow. And in order to grow, you have to hire and to bring into the team people who have super big experience, and they can take the product to the next level. Greg is such a person. The discussions with him were long, like more than 1 year old, and it was a continuous process. There was another girl who the team have brought for the earlier this year, who was from MasterCard, 10 years at MasterCard. And then you need these kinds of people because they have the knowledge of the banking system. They know people who know other people, in order to make the processes a little bit faster, in order to ask questions, get answers. And then when you have a good leadership for a product, then you can leave that product to sail its own waters and to grow as it should be. And all the questions do not need to come back directly to the foundation, to Lucian or Benjamin, but they can do, and they have clear targets what they have to do. So it's important to create this kind of team and this kind of leadership for all the various products.
Thank you very much. Feel free, of course, Arno and Lucid, if you have any question. If not, I keep going. Let's go, Arno.
Yeah, Robert, we saw that shift where you talked about the MultiversX umbrella, all those companies that MultiversX has built over time. And could you tell us more about what was your thought process and what triggered the fact that you guys wanted to, let's say, give more independence to certain companies from under this umbrella so that they could grow? Like, what made this decision happen?
I think this is some kind of natural for any company who wants to grow. We can see with all the corporations who are becoming too big and under too many layers of leadership and too many doors to open, that you cannot go as fast as you want, especially when you have to make hard decisions. And if that all the hard decisions has to go back to the one CEO, and imagine 10 products, having hard decisions to make every day, going back and forth from the CEO, you create some sort of blockage there. And then in order to resolve these kinds of blockages, you have to spin off those companies and then put leadership on that. And then they can move faster, take bolder decisions because they have more of a knowledge and go forward. Why we didn't do it initially? Because you need to find those leaders in which you can trust the idea you have started with and that you can give it to the others. That would be super important in this sense. If there are not such a people, then you can't give ideas out and then see those projects to fail. So this is a process, and I am happy that this process is working pretty fast and that it happened pretty fast. I do not know if you are here. I was just
no worry. I'm just sure the community wants to see you and big when you speak. So no worry, we are here, Robert. Thank you very much for these answers. Just to mention, we present you with your appropriate title, which is core developer at MultiversX, like this. But as you can see, and this is why we really love you on GM Web3. You can speak about so different kind of topics, and you have an opinion about so different topics. So that's why this discussion will not be just about tech. So thank you very much again for taking the time. The next topic I would like to speak with you. And of course, I invite everyone to share the X-Link space to try to win 3 times $35. Thanks to our sponsors, eApes, Wandex, and Hatem. And of course, you can ask your questions in the comment. We will pick some of them to ask Robert. The next topic I would like to speak with you is about meme coins. We had a very big issue last week about meme coins. We received more than 12 speakers to speak about it. It was very interesting. I don't know if you had the time to watch it. The thing is, I would like to have your opinion about this trend, not only on MultiversX, but in the Web3 in general. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? And intrinsically, do you think it provides value to the ecosystem, or just speculation, gambling, and degen moves?
Let's start. I think that 99% of the meme coins are not a good thing at all, especially when it is done with greed. I think meme coins, or some may say culture coins, are those which, let's say, have an intrinsic values. These kind of communities where even art is created around that meme, and then there is a movement around it. There are discussions, there is fun. You can go and chill out in a Telegram group, read some jokes, watch some small videos, have fun. You need to have this kind of funds, even as Lucian mentioned in the Full Sharp podcast, that Caesar is most known as a salad, not as the great Roman. But in this regards, I really love those communities. Token is not only about the token, but about all the fun created around it. For me, it's a relaxation. That kind of idea that you make a lot of money out of it, that's totally wrong. What happened on the Palm.fun with the live streams and all those extremes, it just brings out what's the worst of humanity, and we can see it. We have somebody who were watching the live streams. It was like you could watch it live. which was like pretty bad. And then this drives these kinds of meme coins into the totally wrong point. I just love to have fun, and then when it's about fun, then it's great. I think that meme coins are not about making generational wealth. You can make some money out of it, let's do it, but the fun of meme coins is that everybody's holding it and everybody's creating fun and just enjoying that there is something. Sometimes maybe when you need, I don't know, to pay something and you don't want to sell your EGLD or Bitcoin, you might sell the meme coin, but it's not about creating generational wealth. Not for me, but and then I would like to see some kind of new token economics around meme coins, or new experiments where it's not about the first buyers making a lot of money, but to be more about the community and more about a game of how much the community can drive that things value up in such a way that everybody wins. How to do it? No idea. This kind of everybody wins sounds like Marxism, but not like that. Uh, if we go in this direction, but it would be interesting to see some new ideas. How do you resolve the thing about bots buying the first batch? Bots doing all these kinds of selling activities and be more about community. So I have no idea, but I have no idea how to do that. But that's an interesting topic which can be attacked.
Definitely.
Can I add another
I
question
have
on top?
just a very few and very little question. Are you jealous you don't have a meme coin at your name? Because we have Bates, we have Bemi, we have many co-founders that have their own meme coin, we can say. I think there is no Robert or Rob or something. Did you think about it? Would you like to have one for you?
I was thinking about creating something anonymously, but not with the current mechanics. So I am always thinking about time to build, time to do something. So it has to come somewhat from there, where you do something for the community and receive the meme coin automatically. But I had zero time to do that. But it has to be more than just launching it.
It will be the title of the video: Robert Sasu to launch a meme coin. Okay, so maybe Lucid, if it's very short, and after Arno, because I think Arno has a real question.
So mine is not a question. Come on.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Just kidding. No, it's a very good topic. I wanted to ask Robert what does he think about the AI agent trend on the meme, right? So do we need the truth machine sooner than we expect?
AI agents. I just like how everybody is naming an AI agent a bot. We had like this internal joke, like even in MultiversX, but even before, when I was working at the big corporation, when it is called something an AI, and when it's only a number of ifs, and then we called, okay, if it has more than 42 numbers of if and else's, you might call it an AI. 42 from that famous book. So just for the internal joke. AI agents for trading, are those helping the meme coins or not? Are those more about making money or not? So I think that AI agents should automatize some of your job if you want to do it, but I think that meme coins are more about people, not about AI. So those are who are creating the fun, those are who are having the creative ideas and build stuff. So in a world where you are full always full of technology around you. At least with the meme coins, you want to feel some kind of online friendship, I think. Not like AI agents pushing or doing stuff.
Arno?
That's my take.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we're actually touching on the same point with NFTs. Robert's point is meme coins for greed, basically meme coins as a wealth investment builder is bad. And I think this is what killed NFTs because, at least NFTs used to gather communities. Because people use those as the same thing they use. Mostly people use meme coins today is to make generational wealth, whereas there was beauty behind the fact we could gather communities behind NFT projects. So my question to you, Robert, because there's this narrative, now saying NFTs are dead, at least community project NFTs, you understand? And before you came in, I had a claim about, are they going to come back or not? I don't want to say it, so I don't want to bias you, but what is your take regarding this situation around NFTs, if you have one?
I was always thinking about NFTs as art. So whatever art I am buying the art and I am keeping it. I don't really care about like their utility. I think that meme coins, which have a community, which are creating some nice art. Like let's look at Bobber, especially for example, with all the NFTs created for everybody, and then everybody put it in a profile picture. Then they just received it and stuff like that. That's meme coined and art as well. So and NFTs as well. I will not put my NFT of Bobber to sale like at any time. So it just that's some kind of memoria which you don't really sell. Even in people in the real world, when they are buying an art, they are only, let's say, 0.1% are buying the art to flip it, and the rest are buying the art to keep it. You are just putting out somewhere in your house and you enjoy to look at it. Maybe if you get, I don't know, you change your style, then you sell it or gift it to your friend. In general, gift it, I think. But it's not like this kind of crazy movement of back and forth of the NFTs. I do see, like, let's say, maybe some next thing around it would be like the DN 404 standard, if we want to go a little bit technical, where you could liquefy your NFT and create NFTs based on your fungible tokens. So that's an interesting thing to think about it. Like, okay, when I want to, let's say, buy an NFT of Bobber, let's say, I can do it with Bobber. That Bobber is, let's say, completely burnt, and then I get the NFT. If I want to sell it, I cannot sell it, but only to liquefy it to Bobber with a fee, especially, which is burnt, and then you create some kind of dynamics, and then you can have creators who create Bobber art, special Bobber art, which can be bought. And but you have to make more about the art, or you can create projects. Okay, somebody wants to create a small video of 2-3 minutes, and then the community goes and, let's say, pays for that. He receives some kind of fee, but the most of it is burnt because we like burning tokens and some sort of fun. you don't have to make it really, really dynamic, because that's not like art is slow in general.
I don't know if you knew this, but the process that you described is exactly what DGods have done. They basically wanted to transition from NFTs to tokens, and so you could burn your DGods, you could burn your Utes, and transform them into a meme coin. That is the DGods coin. I don't think that you could go back to the NFT once it's burned. So, but
there was a standard, and there was, like, in January, a big discussions around it in the Ethereum community, and it was called ERC 404. Then somebody renamed it for DN 404. Both of those solutions were bad. Let's say it out like that. The wallets would have. It was a nightmare for wallets to know what the user is signing and what's happening behind. So it's not a good standard, but the idea is, I think it's awesome. And it's that kind of standard is written for ESDTs as well. It's somewhere posted on Agora if somebody wants to take it up, just for a fun experiment.
Thank you very much. Very interesting, definitely, and I can't wait to see the meme coin you're thinking about if you launch it someday. So you speak about social and political things on your Twitter, especially about freedom of speech. You live in Romania. So we know what's happening in France, for example, but what's your take about what's happening on Twitter and about the freedom of speech? And how do you think maybe blockchain can help to release freedom of speech?
So I think here in Romania we are living pretty well. That's full freedom of speech. It's not like in UK where the police will come to you and knock on your door because you posted something, or it's not like in Germany where you can get a fine for a tweet, which we have seen that they did that. So we can post like literally anything and there is no problem around it. I think if you go into the Nazi stuff or something like that, fascist stuff, then you will get summoned in some sense. But that's like a little bit basic common sense. But another than that, it's completely okay. What I was like, how could you create, let's say, a better social media in general, is that if you have open databases where people can write, and then because of blockchain technologies, everything you write, it's time-stamped, it's linked to an account, it's signed, so you resolve the problem of let's say, authenticity as well, because of cryptographic signatures, and you have the history as well. And if you have this kind of, the blockchain, it's only a backend of an open database with certain properties. Then everybody can have its own front end. So you can create all kinds of front ends with all kinds of censorships if you want, and then you have a front end or a few front ends where total freedom it's open. So that's one way blockchain can actually help in general social media, or in general, let's say even the press. Here in Romania, the press is like, I don't know. They are not even using a Google search. They are putting the major press companies, they are putting out some news which you read and you see that they are just stupidities, and they didn't even fact check them. And then everything is taken up. like yesterday, a fake account of Alexander Dugin was posted all over social media of all the politicians in Romania and all the press, and it took only 2 minutes to see that that account was fake. But nobody did a fact check. Or a few days ago, or let's say 1 week ago, some expert in statistics said that TikTok is mostly watched by grannies in rural area. It takes only 1 minute to make a Google check. Statistics, who is watching TikTok in Romania? Bam, 60% is between 40 and 25. So it's like laughable, these kind of things. But if you would be, let's say, much more linked about authenticity, about statistical data, about things like that, even this kind of fact checking would be, let's say, much easier. It's not necessarily about free speech, but free speech is good only when you have fact checks as well. So
the community notes on Twitter, for example, are doing great job to try to know what is true and what is not.
Exactly.
We have a question on the comment, and it's a very good one about Romania that used the blockchain for the last election. Of course, the whole community thought about MultiversX, but actually it was not. But you posted something saying that MultiversX is doing its best to be maybe the blockchain used for this kind of vote. What can you tell us about it? Have you maybe been in touch to be the blockchain used for this election, or is there any requirements that the government is wanting before using a public blockchain like MultiversX?
The government will not use a blockchain X or Y. The government wants to use a full solution, which is implemented top to down. Whether in what kind of blockchain it is written, the government doesn't care about it. It can be even Bitcoin if they want, if somebody pays for it, or they don't look around it. What was used for blockchain, it was only about statistics around how many people have voted, nothing else, and it actually did not resolve at all any problem around, let's say, counting of the votes, because the biggest problem in Romania, it's in general counting of the votes. It costs a lot, and even if it costs a lot, there are some frauds here and there. They try to make it bigger and bigger. Sometimes they can do it. So what right now the political parties are doing is that they are sending one representative to each place where votes are counted, in order for everybody to see the counts and to sign, let's say, a multi-signature of each parties in each zone. And there are like 18,000. So there are a bunch of people there, which anyway, it's like, from my money, the political parties receive their money, and from that money, they pay these people to stay and verify the votes. It's super inefficient again. And then still people can create some frauds here and there in the terms of thousands of votes, which can steer elections as well, because you can create some kind of. But what I was speaking about with a few politicians, that the current voting system can stay with all the physical voting, but the counting can happen automatically and time-stamped on the blockchain. So for this, we are working on, let's say, creating a paper how to do it, and then we have to see what kind of company will take it up. maybe a governmental company to implement together with us or some partner of the MultiversX to have a full own solution which links directly to the existing one, and to use this kind of counting as a verificator. And let's say after a few years, then all this process where people are counting manually can be taken out.
Okay, thank you very much for this first questions you accept to answers. Let's speak about MultiversX progresses. We, of course, have a few topics. The first one is about the sovereign chains. I have a question in the comment asking why the sovereign chain is not available for people on the. Let me check the question to be sure to say.
Is it the public SDK?
Yes. The public SDK is not available soon because I think many builders would like to, I don't know, try it or something. So what's up with the sovereign chains?
The public SDK is available. Everybody can get into the MultiversX website, go to the sovereign, and start deploying their own sovereign chain with all the commands there. And then we are building it in public, and all the updates are in the GitHub repository with all the scripts. You can just get the scripts, deploy your chain. The deploy scripts also deploys the bridge and the cross-chain mechanism, communication mechanism, and you can simply try and do whatever you want with it. So
Okay.
Right now we are still, let's say, there is always something to develop in terms of sovereign chains, but in terms of the protocol as well. So we are making it more seamless, the connection between the main chain and the sovereign chain for everybody, making it, getting into the audit phase of that in a couple of weeks. We are pretty close to, let's say, have code complete, feature complete, and everything around it. To get into the audit phase. But these are, let's say, for a lot of new features like mint and burn and customizability of the bridge. All the alpha features and beta features we have announced in May, they have been finished and they are in the feed chain Go SDK, so people can go and try out. But it's like a little bit the narrative or the things have changed as not necessarily from our side, but in general in the crypto space. People are seeing that so many L2s are not needed. There is not so much more interest in that, even though sovereign chains are not necessarily an L2. They can become an L2, but they are much bigger than that. I think that sovereign and people start to understand that there is no reason to deploy a general, let's say, layer 2 on a chain which is scalable. So if you want to deploy only an application, a set of applications, you don't have to write your own chain. Writing, maintaining, and paying for the validators for your own chain is just extraordinarily much more expensive than running directly on a scalable chain. Even if you want in a Web 2 to deploy your own e-commerce shop, you don't start by buying server racks and creating all the cables. You go into Amazon and you deploy your solution directly. So no, like, and for layer 2, for Ethereum, I get it because they are not scalable, but in terms of in terms of MultiversX, as it's scalable, you have to come with your own specifics. It makes sense if you have all kinds of specific things which cannot be done on the main chain, but it can be done only on the sovereign chain part.
Okay, and maybe the harsh question: you had announced a 1 million grant program, and a number of projects has been positioned, such as Cyberpunk City, Ondex, and I think one or two others. However, as you mentioned, things haven't necessarily gone well, and maybe things are changed a little bit since. So, have you thought about giving up and turning to another, maybe more promising development for MultiversX?
There is no reason to give up the sovereign chain as an SDK because we can see that a lot of private companies will be able to use it, and then in working on that. We have created a couple of connections, those people who need blockchain and who need scalability and who need connection towards between multiple systems. As mentioned before, we have created a pilot project for banking applications as well, not the application, but all the backend of a banking system. With a blockchain, it becomes just much more, much safer, much faster, and it doesn't cost so much money, and you don't have so big problems with all kinds of administrators who have access to your accounts or stuff like that. So that's a thing going on. With the teams around building sovereign chains, we have the Onefinity who have finished the EVM compatibility. They've created a lot of around that. They will enter into the audit phase.
And just
then
sorry to interrupt,
after
but
that,
we have a question. Is Onefinity chain a sovereign chain or a layer 2?
it's built on the sovereign chain SDK, but how will they monitor it's a layer 2 or not? It depends on them. I think that the name layer 2 was so overused, and it's like a lot of layer 2s, even the top ones are not layer 2s. Let's say it out loud, because you are layer 2 from my perspective only if you have exit trees and everything permissionally accessible for the users, and none of the top 20 has that. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact, can be checked on L2Bit. But it's built on the sovereign chain SDK. It will use better security models than all the layer 2s out there. So you can call it layer 2 plus plus.
Another question is about the audit. You mentioned it before, but Mentor is asking it again. So when will the audit finish? Do you say a couple of weeks? Yes, you say that just before, but just maybe you can precise, because seems like Onefinity is waiting for the MVX SDK to finish audit. So what's the situation, to be clear, because many people are waiting for this from the Onefinity community?
We are working together with the Onefinity. We have weekly meetings with all the developers, speaking about their launch strategies, speaking about their needs of the features, and speaking about how to do a joint audit in order to not cost so much for the Onefinity. So to be a joint audit between MultiversX and Onefinity in order to help them. And there are discussions with two companies to get a better price around the auditing of the EVM, which which Billy built for Onefinity, and a couple of changes on the protocol on the sovereign chain SDK part, which needs to be audited. So I don't have a clear timeline for this yet, because these are these are still in the talks around for the audit companies. When will they start, and when it will happen?
Okay, we will invite you again and again and again and again. We have another topic about the subsequent finality when supernova upgrade for this will happen in 2025, 26. Do you have any news about it?
Definitely, it will be 2025. So we are pretty close to finish the Andromeda code as well. The Barnard code, it's like 2 weeks away from code finished. The RC Barnard for Andromeda, which will come with the finality, which will effectively be really good for anything regarding cross-chain communication. The code is pretty much in the final phases there. We are expecting to finish it by the end of December, and then it will go into testing. And when it goes to testing, then the coding for the Supernova upgrade will start. We have an internal timeline for it. We want to keep to that. If we manage to keep to that, it will come much sooner than anticipated. Definitely in 2025. I hope we can be as early as possible in 2025 with the Supernova release as well.
That's what we see on the screen right now. I mean, it is written in the stars.
Yeah,
at X Day. Yeah, would be amazing.
It would be amazing to have even Supernova for the X Day Global, but don't throw rocks at me if we don't manage it. We are
no. I know how it is.
in general.
I know how it is.
So we are pushing as fast as possible. Andromeda, yeah, we will have it before X Day Global. That's the plan, and the code it's looking good to get into the final testing and audit phase.
We have a question in the comment. To be completely honest, I don't understand it, but I'm sure you will. Will relayed V2 remain available after V3? And maybe put some context.
There is a feature in the MultiversX ecosystem when a relayer can pay the gas for the user. We have relayed V1 and V2, which are currently working, and then V3 is in development. I think in code freeze by today. If it gets the third approval, it got 2 approvals already. The V3 will reduce the gas payment even more. And yes, the V2 will be available for a couple of more months until we haven't decided when will we disable that feature, but it will work for a couple of more months. So everybody who is using V2 right now, when V3 gets into the mainnet, he will have a few more months to migrate to the new solution.
All right, Robert, I have a question for you. Let's allow everybody to take a breather from the technical discussions. We've seen Benjamin being publicly sharing the fact that he's been multiple times to the US the last 3 months, maybe even before. So what's happening?
He will go and meet Charles from Cardano.
Oh, come on. All right, no, but I didn't expect.
We'll
that
try to have
you-
Benny so he can answer.
You know that the
No, but
answers will be
so it's
given when the deals will be finished.
Yeah, but what's interesting here, and this is the question that I actually have for you about this. We've seen for the last months MultiversX aggressively, like operationally, going to the US and also to Asia, with the C-level people, Benjamin and other also. I know he's not alone going there, and Adam, and he's not alone too, going to Asia a bit more. People are talking about, should MultiversX leave Europe? What do you think about this? We had the question in the comments earlier on, and what can you tell us about this topic?
I don't think that we need to leave Europe. The whole idea is that if you want to have a global expansion, then you have to go and be physically on those regions where you want to expand. That's why we are going especially to Asia and US to put our strongholds there as well, to create communities, to create partnerships, to discuss with people, to reach to conclusions, to do business deals. And you can do all those only physically when you are there. So that's the strategy, and that's the strategy for XDay Global as well. And then when you are on that part of the world, people are thinking, let's say, a little bit differently than how it is happening in Europe. It opens up your eyes. You can do some changes. You can do some customization for those regions in order to fit them, fit their ideals, and then move on. I think that growing the Multiverse X ecosystem into having communities and builders from all over the world was always the plan. We started from Europe because we are most comfortable here in Europe and we know the culture and we know everything. But there is a time to go outside of the comfort zone and to do the things in US and in Asia as well. Especially right now in the US and also in Asia, we can call, for example, in South Korea, the new regulations which are being pushed out because of Trump and the effect of Elon Musk and Trump around cryptocurrencies and everything. Let's say it's 100x better than what's happening in Europe. So having a great presence there, it just helps everybody. And in both of those places, if you are not present there physically, nobody will know you. So we can have all this technology,
Okay.
but you don't resolve these kind of things through Zoom meetings.
Yeah, 100%. So with you knowing what's happening, are you bullish for 2025?
Yeah, definitely. How when even today it's still rising. I think I checked.
So you check the price.
Yeah, sometimes I check the price,
I mean,
especially when it's green. Come on, we like when it's green.
Yeah.
I am bullish about
Last
the
question,
technology.
because
I am.
Yeah.
I am
we know
the
your
fact
stance,
that we are
Robert.
we are getting much faster.
We have latency. It seems.
We
know
big one.
we know that you're bullish on MultiversX. Yeah. Let's last question. It's on the screen. It's about the IBANs through Exportal. Is it a feature? Is it a product that people should look forward to in 2025?
I think that Sergio Birish have been spoken about this a few times, and definitely yes, they have managed to go through all the hurdles of the regulations, and they are in the final phases of that as well. When will it be launched? I have no clear idea about yet, but they have proposed a few candidate dates, and then we will see when it will happen. But I am, let's say, bullish on IBANs as well.
Nice, awesome.
If I may, I have another also question for Robert, but more for the future actually.
Quickly, guys.
Just
please.
1 sec. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah, Robert, it's just after the subsequent, which I think is the most exciting things. What will be the next thing, or I would say, big feature that MultiversX you are excited to work on? I don't know, something maybe there is in other chains that we don't have on MultiversX. What's your take after Andromeda?
After Supernova, the subsequent finality will come with Supernova.
Sorry, Supernova, super.
I think that one of the next big things we have to figure out, and everybody has to do it in the whole crypto space, is to be quantum proof or quantum cryptographic ready. So that will be a huge topic in which we have started to invest, started to research, and we have to move all the cryptography to post-quantum security models. In the other hand, in terms of features, I think we are pretty good compared to anything in the space.
Okay, and sorry, because when I type, you can listen. So I'm sorry, I should mute all the time. Thank you very much, Robert. It was very interesting, like always. We will release you. Maybe you want to say hi to our new guest, Alexandru Berce from Valoro, before you leave.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, and have fun continuing the discussion. Welcome, Alexandru, as well. I am pretty bullish about Valoro as well. Let's say like this.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
Thank you very much, Robert. All the best. And
thanks,
see
Robert.
you soon.
Have a great day.
Bye.
All right. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks for the invitation. How are you?
Before we receive our last guest of the day, I'd like to thank our third sponsor of the day, which is eApes. It's basically the most OG project on MultiversX, NFT project on MultiversX, still alive, to my knowledge, anyway. And they recently announced that they were launching a collection of 3,323 NFTs on Solana to explore new horizons. And they are offering $25 in their token, so the eApes token. And all you have to do to enter is to quote tweet the X Spaces link. All the information are in the description of the video on YouTube, but also on audio podcast, and I put it in the comment also. And And yeah, Arno, sorry to interrupt.
Of course, we all have to eat, brother. I understand. No, big love to Yapes. They are survivors. So, Alex, I'm very happy that we can have you today on GM Web3. You are one of the guys behind Valoro, which is a project that has launched on MultiversX recently, if we can say. You are working in the DeFi area of MultiversX, and this morning we're happy to have you speak a bit about Valoro, but also your vision about DeFi, innovation in DeFi. How do you think that you can contribute and solve problems also for users? So, if you're ready, let's start.
Yeah.
I have a first question for you. What inspired you the creation of Valoro? Where does it come from?
Yeah, sure. In case not everyone here knows me, I'm also the founder of the SDT market. I started that many years ago in 2022. So I'm in this space for quite a long time. I myself invested in a lot of tokens on multiple blockchains. And even for me, with all the technical knowledge and I had time to research projects, it gets complicated and to decide what token to invest in next. And also it gets complicated to keep track of everything that I invested in. Because here on MultiversX, it's maybe a bit simpler, because let's say that you buy a token and then you go and stake that token somewhere in a smart contract that the team created. And here on MultiversX, you get a staked version of the token, which is in your wallet. So when you check your wallet, you see that staked version of the token in your wallet, and you remember maybe, okay, I staked this token maybe somewhere. But on other blockchains, you don't have that luxury. So you do not see those tokens in your wallet. So I probably forgot about a few tens of tokens that I bought, and I don't know where.
So you're saying that you have a few millions hidden somewhere.
Oh no, definitely not millions, but probably a few $1,000 trapped in a smart contract somewhere. Yeah, so this is one of the issues that made me start to think about this application, but also the fact that so if for me it's getting complicated, then for the regular user it's probably even worse, this issue. And this combined with the market saturation, with a lot of tokens being created every day, then it makes the decision to invest overwhelming for the regular user. Also, if you invest in just one token, then if you don't have a proper diversification, then you are more exposed to the risk of having significant losses, because one token can go down. But if you invest in, let's say, a bundle of tokens, then even if one or two goes down and others go up, then maybe you're still a bit in the profit. So I had this idea to create an app that bundles tokens together and offers them as investment opportunities for users that do not have the time to research the market, and they just know that maybe they have an idea that for the next 2 or 3 years the gaming sector will play a big role, and they just want to invest in gaming tokens without caring about which one, spending time to research. And then maybe from those 10 tokens, 5 have staking programs. They do not want to spend time tracking those positions. So we can just do that for them in the future. Okay, so this is what made me create that.
It's great, because this morning when we made the press review, of the core topics that we wanted to talk about, we talked about the Coinbase 50 index fund. And what you're saying, what I'm hearing is that from your personal journey, you had a hard time knowing, so many tokens, so many value propositions, so many products that it's hard to invest, it's hard to track, it's hard where to go. So based on this, you decided to create a simpler way to invest in crypto. That's what you're saying?
Yes. So our app works exactly like traditional ETFs, if you're familiar with those. So you just buy some
Can you
shares.
explain? Can you, like, if you had to vulgarize it, like, we assume that we have people hearing, let's say that I absolutely don't understand. Could you like vulgarize it to the maximum?
Yes. So let's say that you decide to invest $10 into our DeFi fund, which focuses on DeFi projects from the Multiverse ecosystem. So you go to our application and you go to the DeFi fund and you send $10 to our smart contract. We buy for you DeFi tokens worth of $10, and we hold those tokens in our smart contract, and we issue a new token for you, which represents your share of that fund. So the tokens stay safely, the fund assets stay safely in our smart contracts, and all you get is the shares that represent your position in that fund. And we keep those tokens in the smart contract because in the future we want to give you an even better value proposition by supplying those tokens to lending platforms and lending and borrowing platforms.
Okay. Don't get too much into the next development steps, because we're going to this after. It's interesting to understand your vision behind those initial choices. Basically, investing is complex. There's a lot of choices. Right now, decentralized finance, you have many products, not necessarily easy to use for everybody. And so your take on this is, from what I understand, to create a product where it's easier to invest. But what's the difference between, let's say, investing in the Coinbase index and investing on an index on Valoro?
Yeah, so when you invest in, let's say, on Coinbase, you don't get anything in your wallet. It's just a value that they place in the database. But if you invest in Valoro, you get something in your wallet that is yours forever. So it's decentralized. And even if our app, our front end, our backend API goes down, the smart contract is always there. So you can just recover all your funds from the smart contract itself. This is the main difference from Coinbase.
Very interesting. And so could I, like, let's say I want to get GRM, who doesn't invest much, he's only buying NFTs. And he wants to invest, but he doesn't know how to buy crypto. Are you guys planning on like an easy way to go from his GRM, go from his bank account to investing in a crypto index fund, but he doesn't want to, I don't know, wallets are hard things to manage, etc. Have you thought about all those things?
Yeah, definitely. So this is one of the goals. Our app is to simplify investments for everyone, especially for non-crypto users. So in the near future, everyone will be able to invest in funds through our app without a wallet. So they will just log in with their Gmail account, and they will just buy directly with their credit card through our ramp partners. They will just tap a button and they will pay with the credit card, and then they will have the shares in a wallet that is auto-generated through XLIS product that MultiversX created. so they have access to it automatically through their Gmail account.
Really?
Yeah.
And when this is you're working on this, or is it already ready to how are you on the completion of this?
Yeah, so the first part, creating an account on Valoro with a Gmail address, is already done for I think a few months. We already have implemented buying crypto through our Transylvania partner, and we just need to connect those two, which will probably happen in the first quarter of next year. So we started working on this, but it's not ready. It's not ready. There still needs to we still need to implement the part where we pay the gas fee for the user, because if the user did not have a wallet before, then of course they do not have a EGLD on their wallet to pay for the blockchain transaction. So we need to implement the part, exactly the relay transactions that Robert was explaining a bit earlier. So we will pay the gas fee for the user through that feature that MultiversX offers.
Man, that's exciting. I mean, I'm bullish on DeFi, as you may know. This is very cool innovation that we don't have on MultiversX right now, and I would see GRM investing through you, which is I can't have GRM. I mean, I've been friends with the guy for years now, and I can't bring him on Hatom. So I would see him be able to go to you. That's bullish, bro. You're finally gonna make money.
I heard my name too many times. Just to I think it's a very, very great thing, and we had a talk with Alexandru a few months ago, and I was very happy to know what you were building. Now it's live, and you're keep building, and it's great. If I have one question, is how will you promote Voloro? Because indeed it's necessary, it's well built, but are you thinking about raising funds, launching a token or an NFT or anything to raise funds, to allocate part of this fund to promote Voloro in the MultiversX ecosystem, of course, because there is big potential of people that doesn't know you already, maybe a bit more this morning, but also outside of MultiversX, because your product could be omni-chain very easily with sovereign chains and interoperability layers, and maybe even bridges, because we don't necessarily need to bring a lot of money to try your DApp. So what's your strategy about awareness and development?
Yeah, so there were a lot of things mentioned there in your question. So I
Take
will,
your time.
Yeah, I will talk a bit about each of those. So of course we want to expand beyond MultiversX, because first of all, there are not that many projects building here. So of course we need more tokens in the funds, because right now we have just maybe 10 funds created, and each of those funds have a maximum number of I was getting an error here and just trying to see what it is. Yeah, so each of those funds have a maximum number of 7 tokens, and this is because there are not that many tokens on MultiversX. So we need to expand to be able to include tokens from other blockchains as well. That's one thing, and we already initiated discussions with Chainlink regarding this. We are exploring layer 0, and there's also a possibility with Axelar. And those are the only options that we started to explore right now, but we are thinking about that. And regarding the promotion and the marketing of our project, we already started discussing with some potential partners, and we are really happy to see that more projects and companies started to realize what our project could mean for the entire ecosystem. because I think we have on somewhere on the website, maybe on the front page, what this means for the regular user. So of course, it's everything that I already mentioned, built-in diversification, managed crypto portfolio, ease of investment, but also for the projects that are part of our funds can mean an increase in trading activity for the token on the exchanges. Every user we get on our application means another user for X exchange, because we are using X exchange behind the scene to purchase those tokens. Every user for our funds, or for most of our funds, will mean one extra user for the Hatom protocol, because we will lend our tokens through Hatom, and other in the future we will include other protocols as well, like Joule swap or
Jewel swap. Yep.
Yeah, Joule swap. Yeah, every user, every other user for our app means one extra user for Ash swap, because we will also use some of their products. So we are discussing with potential partners to help us market this, because this can also give them a bit of benefit. And also our app helps fund managers, people that want to manage funds and have experience in that area. They will be able to create.
So Alex, what?
Yeah.
Because here you're touching upon something that you didn't talk about previously, and I think it comes into the like the future developments and your roadmap. But before we get into this, in February we have MiCA regulation coming in. It's going to. Some people say this is going to be a horrible time for DeFi. Some others say that we still have to see. But anyways, all DeFi projects will have to, in a way, get this in their scope. So right now you are in the early phases of your project. You talked with GRM about, are you planning to raise funds, etc., etc. How do you see the natural regulatory and compliance journey of Valoro in 2025?
Yeah, so I was just getting to that point, because we already started discussions with some people that could help us raise some money, because up until this point we built everything with our own resources. I think it took us 4 months without any funds raised to build this platform, which I think is a really good time for such a small team. And but now we are getting to that point where we need a legal framework and we need licenses. So of course we cannot fund all that from our wallet, because it can cost probably up to $200,000 just to create a company in a country and get a license to be a virtual asset provider. And we also hold the assets for our users in our smart contract. So we need also to be to have licenses for that. So we need to raise funds to make this happen. We do not plan on launching, because this was also a question, on launching a token or an NFT at this moment. Yeah,
Okay.
so for the next year, we want to raise some money and start working on that legal framework for the application.
Okay, so basically 2025 is going to be a packed year for you. You were looking to raise. There's most likely some future developments. You just you briefly touched upon. You said fund manager. What's this, and how is it? What is the fund manager part?
Yeah, so that's a feature that is coming really soon. I just last night I woke up probably 20 minutes before this meeting, because I worked all night to get the fund manager part added to our staging environment on DevNet. So that's coming really soon. So right now, all the funds on our app are added and managed by us, the team. So, but in the future, we want other people like you or GRM to be able to have their own fund, and you will be the fund managers for that investment fund.
Trust
so
me, you don't want GRM as a fund manager.
Yeah, we'll see. We can talk about it. Yeah, so you will decide which tokens you want in that fund. You will decide if you want to add a fee for that fund, and you will have the ability to manage the fund, to rebalance it, because token prices go up and down, and from time to time you want to rebalance the fund. So let's say that you allocate 70% to EGLD, but EGLD goes to $500. Maybe you want to reduce the allocation to EGLD and increase the allocation of another token, or maybe even swap some EGLD for other tokens, so you have a more balanced portfolio for your users. So this is something that is coming to our app.
So Alex, correct me. I'm always trying to make this super simple and concrete for our listeners. So let's say that once the fund manager is the function is available, I could create my fund, choose the assets, the tokens. Let's say I choose EGLD, HTM, and Bobber. I can put those three in the funds. I could say, okay, 50% goes to EGLD, 30% goes to HTM, and 20% goes to Bobber. And then I have this fund, and I could say, okay, GRM, if you want to invest in crypto for the next cycle, you just pour your funds in there. I could say that to my family, and they could use the on-ramp that you explained, so they don't have to do the wallet, and they can invest in there. And okay, that's yes.
Yeah, definitely. And you also get a part of the fees for your trouble for managing the fund, if you want that, of course.
Does it exist somewhere else on other ecosystem? What's your inspiration? Maybe another dApp who does the same on another ecosystem, or is it completely innovative in the way that you're building it?
Yeah. There are other apps on other blockchains. I think I had this idea back in December of November, and then I discussed it with a close group where I share all my ideas, and everyone was excited. And then I started to search for other applications that do this, and I think I found 14 at that point, but around 9 were already dead. Or maybe they rugged. I don't know. So there are 3 or 4 that are still active. One is on Solana, I think, and there are 2 on Ethereum and another one on other blockchain. But yes, there are applications. And we took a bit of inspiration when we started building this from an app, a similar app that's on Solana. It's called Early Ventures, I think.
And because
last question.
Last question. Okay, I'm interested. So I'm a bit of a. I like to understand how you intend to grow. How, let's say I have this fund manager, and I create the fund, and I onboard GRM. Do I get something if he comes into my fund to invest in the fund? Like somewhat of a referral, and after, if GRM starts making, he sees his shares in the fund raising, and he wants to bring in more people, is he going to get something? Like, did you think about a system to
sponsorship,
make your
like pyramidal
referral or yeah?
Oh yeah. So you can make money with Valoro in 4 ways. first is the simplest one already discussed. You invest in something. Second one is you become a fund manager. You manage a fund, and you set some fees that you get from all the people that invest in your fund. Third one is our referral program. So we have a referral program where we pay, I think, up to 3%, if I'm not mistaken, 3% of all the fees that are coming from the people that you refer, and this stays forever. So for as long as they are our customers and they invest in our platform, you will get fees from them. So it's not just 1 month like other applications are doing. This is forever. And we also have our ambassador program where you can, and this is for people like you that have a larger following base and can bring more people. So of course we want to offer you better rewards, and we offer up to 15%.
I will launch my fund. Who's in?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you don't even have to launch your fund to become an ambassador for Valoro.
Last question from the comment. Can Valoro provide a solution for the low liquidity coins? For example, I get quite big price penalty if I buy a wrapped BTC on a MultiversX. Is there anything that you can do for this?
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything we can do at the moment, because we also buy our funds for our assets for the funds from X Exchange, so we get the same price penalty. Maybe this could be fixed a bit with aggregators. We tried that, but so right now the maximum number of tokens for our funds is 7. And that's because we hit the gas limit on MultiversX, because we have to do around 80 or 90 token transaction for every investment in our fund. And this is going to change, I think, this week. We will be able to add, we are doing a 50% gas optimization this week, and we will be able to include more tokens. But if we use aggregators, so let's say we buy from multiple exchanges, then the limit goes back to around 2 or 3 tokens per fund, which is not good. So, but when we expand to other blockchains, then of course that problem will also be fixed with price penalties.
Thank you very much, Alexandru, for coming this morning, introducing Voloro. I think it's really worthy for the ecosystem. So all the best.
Exciting stuff. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
And
if you like what we're doing, come and take a closer look. Say hi. I don't give a recommendation for investments, but you can take a look. It's free.
I added the link on the description of the YouTube video, and it will be available also on the podcast description. And of course, feel free to visit your Twitter. It's Voloro Fund. Yep. Thank you very much, Alexandru.
Thank you.
And see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's the end, or no?
No.
Yes, it's the end.
No.
But I would like, maybe before we finish this Twitter space, to make a huge shout out to X-Cities for the event they organized this weekend. I will check if Joachim has a few minutes to come here, and I will post in the comment the video that they made. I don't know how to say, the summary of the
highlights
of the event, because it was great. I was there, and maybe I can tell you it was really amazing. We were like around 70. There were coiners, no coiners. There was great speakers. We have Kevin from Dinovox. We have Adam Bates was there too. We had Andu from Project X. We had Akim from Globiz. We have Xcards team. We have many people there.
You had Bubu also.
Yeah, Bubu was there. Great guy. My I think best meeting there, to be honest. He's really a great guy. Now with Adam Bates, we're friends. We just needed. No, actually, let's speak about it for a second. I have never been an enemy of him. I was just sad that we could not even say hi. And we spoke during this event, and I can tell you he's a great guy. Yeah, Bober was there too. We had a few members of the community, and of course the mascot. I don't know how to say in English.
Yeah, the mascot.
Yeah. Okay, great. It was there, very fun. We made some pictures there. So yeah, it was very cool, and I can tell you in exclusivity today that we will receive Adam Bates next Wednesday on GM Web3. And to be completely honest, he proposed this interview, and I really appreciate it. And of course, I accepted straight away. And it will be interesting because on the 10th, so next Tuesday, I think, there will be a new town hall. So Benjamin Minku and maybe other people, I don't know yet, will speak about maybe what happened in 2024, and maybe will give their ambition and goals for 2025, and we will discuss about it with Adam Bates. What I can tell you about our talk there, he's a great guy, he's humble, and I love his vision about working together with all the layer ones, and not just fudding at each other. We are all developers. We are all here to make blockchain great. I would not say again, but great. And so I like this vision, and he will do his best to make it happen. Of course, with Cardano, but also with other ecosystems. So I think it's great. So yeah, next week will be dope. Let me just check if no, Joachim is not available, but yeah, I can tell you it was great. I can't wait the next edition. We don't know yet where it will happen, but it will be in Europe for sure. And you can find a live stream that I co-hosted with Tomos from Xspaces and Philanthropy. It's pinned on my Twitter account. It was more than 3 hours live stream with different interviews, different topics that we discussed all together. Very, very interesting. And yeah, I will put also the video of the event that they made is really, really bullish about what happened there. So that's it for me. I hope next time you will be able to come, Arno.
Next Wednesday, you mean? Or next X cities?
X cities.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not going even to say because I couldn't come because my nephew. My brother's son, so my nephew's birthday, and it was also Laura's brother, so my girlfriend's brother's son's birthday, two on the same day. And in the evening, Laura made me a surprise, and it was planned for a long time ago. We went to see John Williams. So John Williams is the musical brain behind the Star Wars theme, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, etc., etc. And so in Paris, there was like a philharmonical concert with all those musics, and it was planned for like the last 6 months. So no, when the date for this weekend was announced, I was like, if I go there, I think I can lose a lot. So no, but it looked awesome. I FOMO'd big. So, but I'm happy. I'm very happy that this happens. It's great that it happens by the community, for the community. It's just great to see this happen on MultiversX. So it's good, and great job to the organization. I know all the guys behind. They're awesome. You also have Offhead Harry that you most likely met. He's one of my biggest crush on MultiversX. Great guy. Also in the Project X team. So it's brilliant to see this happen.
Definitely, and with a little of little of the resources.
Yeah.
Really,
But
not
I mean,
much money.
Yeah. You can do
But they
great
did
things
great.
even with less. And this was in London. So
Yes.
imagine what you
So
can
it's
do in a
expensive.
city that is less expensive.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Arno, for this new edition. See you next Wednesday. It's going to be great, as always. And yeah, you can find the replay of the show on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on podcast platforms. Take care of yourself. See you soon. And let's remember that Robert Sasu is thinking about launching a meme coin.
Bye, brother.
Bye, brother.